Hello everyone and welcome. This is Commander Curses and I'm flying a Condor fighter. I'm doing a video this episode on the new fighters and fighter bays in the new Beta 2.2 patch, and I will be flying the 3 different fighters and talking about equipping them, or the different equipment that you can use on them, and what it's like to fight with them. Also about hiring crew and the consequences of that. So stay tuned, and we will first look at the crew selection, then we'll look at the loadout, and then we'll do some fighting. So, looking around the cockpit, it's very much like the normal ship's cockpits. It's a bit smaller. Apparently I'm connected to the cockpit with a neural link, although I do seem to have quite a substantial body, so not really sure how that works, but anyway, it's got quite good visibility, for like a fighter should, and it's got you know, just the same controls as you have. You cannot do navigation from the fighter. You can only do it on the main ship. As you can see, the heads-up display shows the mothership here, and they're just buzzing around at the moment. I can get them to follow me if I want. I need to look for bad guys though. That's a clean ship.
Copy that. I'll take care of the mothership, Commander.
Okay, here we are in the Condor. Let's take a fly. Let's see if we can find any bad guys. I've got the crew manning the mothership, so he calls it. This looks like a bad guy. I've got the multi-cannon, the fixed multi-cannon build with the ship. I'll talk a bit more about the builds in the later part of the video, once I'm back at the screen for deciding which ship I'll buy. But this is a very agile little ship. We have a top speed of something like over 500 on the boost. You have the pip control just the same as a normal ship, and it's very agile and quite small. It's got 2 weapons and a chaff as the loadout. So I've got a normal top speed of about 290, which is pretty good. I mean, the old mothership, the keelback only has a top speed of about 260. Here's my mothership. So you can choose what you want the mothership to do. So you can click on this and go orders, defend, attack, target, engage. It will maintain formation, and for an unmanned mothership they can just maintain position and follow you. Let's see if we can find some bad guys. Hey, Asp Explorer might be a bad guy. Clean, sadly. So I've outfitted this keelback with a fighter bay. It's in the optional internal categories. And so I've bought a size 5D internal hangar, which I think is the smallest size hangar you can buy, but I think you can buy bigger ones, which can... I think they can hold more fighters, but you can only ever deploy 1 fighter. I have chosen an F-63 Condor for this, but you can buy different ones. And so I guess the lore, or the story behind it, is that your fighter bay builds the fighter, so if you lose one you can actually redeploy another one. It's kind of a big 3D printer, but you can only print one type or make one, equip one type at a time. So there's the F-63 Condor, which I have. Then, because this is a federal post, but there is also a fighter, the Imperial fighter, and there's the new fighter which hasn't been in the game before. The what are they called? The Taipan or the I can't remember. Anyway, I'll show you a demo of all three of those fighters shortly. So let's go to the combat. We've found ourselves a wanted as scout, so let's get our mothership over to attack.
Okay, Commander. Concentrating fire on primary target.
And I'm going to concentrate fire on primary target 2.
Target shields offline.
So allegedly, the weapons that the fighters come with are equivalent to Class 3 hard points, which is well, it's good, but it's a little implausible that such giant
Target destroyed.
weapons can be mounted on such a small ship. But let's suspend our disbelief and see what it's like having such an excellent little ship. So let's send our mothership in on that one too.
Roger, Commander. Focusing my attack on your target.
So it flies very much like
Target shields offline.
the ship in the CQC combat. I haven't actually done that much CQC, but it's quite agile and easy to control. Obviously the fixed hard points are a little bit of a challenge for me because I usually use gimbals, but nothing that I can't handle. Warning, ship under attack. I guess that's the wingman of this ship. Why doesn't it show which ship is attacking my ship on the...
Sky is clear. No more targets.
Maybe it got destroyed. Maybe that's why it didn't show up on the mini-map. Is this a bad guy? May well be. Wanted. 3 out of 3. Yeah, I don't really want to go up against 3 ships. Anyway, very light and agile little ship. With my other experience, it's quite a lightweight in terms of shields and hull. But
Roger that.
it's quite a nice little, quite a lot of fun to fly these little ships around. I will be back with the next fighter that I want to look at. Okay, I'm back at Jameson, and I can get all the different fighters from this place. So there's the GU-97 Imperial fighter, and they've got different loadouts. There's the Condor with all the different loadouts, and there's the Taipan, which is the new independent or alliance-made fighter, and they have different loadouts. So what is a typical loadout? You can get one with the fixed pulse point, 1 point defense, fixed plasma, 1 chaff, gimbal beam and heatsink, gimbal pulse and chaff, fixed beam and heatsink, and that's it. So is that the same? Pulse, heatsink, plasma, point defense. Yeah, so this looks to be roughly the same, and I got the fixed multi and chaff. And then there's the Taipan. So let's fly next the GU-97. I would like to try out the fixed plasma. Okay, now here is the GU-97. It looks different from what I expected from the from fighting it in combat zones, but it's pretty cool. It's a bit of a almost like a Gudamaya design. It's got like a little orb in the middle and 2 straight wings out the side, not like any of the other real ship designs. It's got blue engines, and if we go into the cockpit, we've got blue highlights around the bottom of the cockpit, like those Imperial clippers, cutters and things. And it's got a really good view around the top and things like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I've got the plasma guns, so it's kind of like in the CQC combat. Plasma repeaters is what I mean to say. And I've also got chaff on this loadout. What does it seem like? Seems like it overheats pretty quickly with the plasma repeater being used full time. Look around and see if we see any combats. Yeah, it looks like you can't really run out of ammo on these ships, because I use up all my ammo, and then it kind of reloads back to 30.
Temperature critical.
And then it just says there's still 30 in the magazine. So I think that's something. But let's look for some bad guys, and I will come back with some fighting and talk about the effectiveness of the ship. Here we go. Plasma cannons activated. Balance energy. How's it going? Shields. Shields not going down as fast as I would like.
Temperature critical.
I've got temperature critical already.
Target shields offline.
I'm not using this other ship to help me like it was the last one. Just put me. It looks like I'm staying in his blind spot though. Oh, not now. Now the enemies, the police are helping me. That was pretty quick.
Target destroyed.
Looked like only one big hit from the Mail Smooth 1. No more targets in the area. Thanks, Mail Smooth 1. That could be my new co-pilot's name. Obviously, there's still a few bugs to go in this beta patch, but yeah, something to do with latency or something. Didn't realise that my crew was my crew. But yeah, no, pretty effective. Overheated a lot more easily, but maybe did more damage than the multi-cannon was doing in the last fight. Here's something interesting. There's a condor in this resource extraction site. It must have been deployed by a larger ship. That's interesting because you don't normally see condors in the reses, just the normal fighters. But maybe now that they can be deployed, you're going to see them a lot more. There goes my frame rate. One thing I've noticed recently. One thing I've noticed about this. Hold on a sec. That's actually an anaconda. Where did the? Oh, must have docked. No wonder I lost contact with it. There goes my frame rate. One thing I've noticed is that the scanner on this little ship seems to be a lot worse than the scanner on the big ship. Is this an enemy? Hopefully. Yep. Okay, I'm going to call in my crew.
Paint the target, Commander.
Paint it.
I'm moving in for attack.
Maybe you got colour. Paint it blue. This is just an adder. I mean, honestly, shouldn't be too hard. Oh. Maybe if my computer would keep up. See if it is.
Target shields
Okay.
offline. Warning. Temperature critical.
Oh, I did it. Because of lag. Wow, and now I'm spinning. Imagine this is
Tango is down.
Tango is down. Tango for target, obviously. Okay, let's go back and try the next. Let's go back and try the next fighter. This fighter is pretty agile, but not as quick. So, hiring crew is as follows. You head to the crew lounge. I've already got one crew member. They're a harmless crew member, but you can have up to 3 crew member on your books. You can only have one active at a time, and you can hire different levels of crew member. They cost more and they charge more. For example, this Sandra Roth is an expert rank, but she takes 12% of the profit that you make. So the better your pilots, you know, the more you pay them, and you can buy them cheap and level them up from harmless to presumably elite, at which point they'll take quite a large chunk. So anyway, let's hire Lincoln Barnes, who has a backstory. Okay, so this is the interface for that. So it's quite detailed in what you actually will be paying them for, and as they level up they will require more pay. It's kind of ripe for role-playing with these pilots, and if you die you lose your pilot, which is a bit of a shame, because if you've got a really well-trained pilot, I think you lose a lot more than just the credits that will take to hire a new one. Okay, so this is the Taipan. Oh, it flies through asteroids. It looks pretty cool. It looks like a butterfly, really. But it sounds like a two-stroke mower, which is pretty funny. It looks really good. They say that it's not as quick or as nimble as the other fighters, but it's tougher. I'm running it with the beam laser gimbaled beam when heat sink build. Have I hit a rock? Thankfully no. And so let's see how it does in combat. Actually, first let's look in the cockpit. So put this out and we will look around. So it's got the kind of the Lakon kind of cockpit where you can see through the floor. So pretty around here. It's got a similar kind of layout to those to the, what's the word, the ships, even though it is a fighter and the other fighters didn't have lit up control panels. It's got very good view. It's got that 3 dots at the back of the seat. Yeah, very nice. So let's see how it goes. It's 240 top speed in the it definitely rolls slower. There's my ship. I better not get 30 kilometers away or I'll get exploded. That was cool sound. So, okay, sorry. The boost, 400, 500, over 500, so it's still pretty quick in the boost. But I think that the normal speed's 270, so that's 20 meters per second slower. Alright, I'm going to go back to the mothership, which is holding position in the resource extraction site, and then we will find some baddies to be bad to. Now, here's a wanted Mark IV Viper. So let's see how the beam works. I'll put it on normal power distribution. Run out of energy already, and the shield's up down, and I have to put my shields up.
Target shields offline.
That's not so bad. My shield's held up pretty well under that attack. These my shields are down.
Taking damage.
Okay, 47% hull. Let's get my helpful mothership to attack him. It'll take a while because they're 6 k's away.
Fire on primary target.
Is he coming to me or is he going away? I think he's going away.
Shields online.
Shields charge really quickly in these fighters.
Target is down. Scanning for more threats.
I don't think that was my my handy police. No, it was the Type 7 attacking it. Oh well, pretty happy about that. Yeah, so still pretty weak on the shields, so don't go head to head with a heavy ship or a heavy fighter like a Viper, but still very fun to fly. Let's try another target. Oh, there's one. Very cool. Oh no, I think I am in trouble. Yeah. Okay, now I've assaulted someone. I'm probably going to get dead. So let's go switch.
Telepresence control taken. She's in my
Telepresence
hands,
control
Commander.
taken. Alright. That's going to have to be the end of my my excursion as I assaulted another ship. So let's recall, and I'll do a bit of a
Commencing recovery,
conclusion
Commander.
because I think
Stand
I've done
by.
enough work on each of these ships to do a conclusion. So we'll get to a safe spot and let's talk. It folds up its wings. Very cool. Okay, so ship-based fighters, eh? What are they good for? Well, they are pretty cool. They're fun, so you can have some fun blasting enemies. Probably not hard enemies, but you know, what's the game but to have fun? Other things you could use them for, well, they are available on trading ships, so you could use them as a self-defense or an exploring ship as self-defense, or maybe just if you're out in the depths of the universe to well, do a bit of sightseeing, maybe fly down some canyons or something like that on the planet's surface, maybe. You can also use them for close air support for your trading ships, which I think is probably one of their primary intents. They do have extremely high-powered weapons, so that's a really good use for them. And fighting with combat ships, I suppose that they could be helpful. You could equip one with an anaconda, so that is an extra few guns to go with in your fighting ship configuration. So yeah, all in all, I think ship-based fighters are really cool. They pave the way for some interesting interactions. The next patch coming out, 2.3, will be multi-crew ships, so you can have your friends over to shoot stuff in your ship. Maybe they could fly your fighters, and then further you can walk around your ships, and later maybe in season 3, or you can walk around stations. So it's all just building a better and better game, in my opinion, and I really like the idea of including ship-based fighters. Now all I need to do is actually get a ship which I want to equip them for. It doesn't fit on the Python, my current kind of biggest trader, and the Explorer, Asp Explorer, my main exploration ship, doesn't fit on that. Doesn't fit on the Clipper, my fighting / exploration ship. The fedaral doesn't have one, so I need to upgrade to an Anaconda, a Type 9, a Beluga liner, or something else like that. Anyway, that's been my video on ship-based fighters. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate your views. Leave a comment if you have something to say. Let me know what you think, and continue to have some safe flying. This is Commander Curses signing off. Farewell.